Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. So today I just wanted to kind of cover the different types of phone websites that there are out there. There's so many different websites that you can be on, that you can work on, and they all kind of have different styles and different ways of doing things. So I wanted to just discuss briefly the different types that you may run into. Now, if you want to have a very good understanding of what websites I recommend, what websites are the most beneficial and the most profitable, and a little bit of pros and cons from each, definitely tune in to our live webinar, which is going to be on April 5th, 2022 at 7 p.m. The tickets are on sale right now, and you can still get the early bird special if it is before April 5th at noon. Now, if you're watching this video after the fact, I'm sorry, you won't be able to be a part of the live. However, there will be a replay available for purchase, and you'll be able to purchase that on the website. So definitely check that out. We're going to get into a lot of those. We're going to get into all of those smaller websites and really talk about how you can make a full-time income with some of the other websites. Now, my number one recommended website, which the course really focuses on, teaches you how to start from beginning to end to get to six figures. The website that got me to six figures, always, of course, check out the course. The course is going to teach you everything you need to know about that. And, I definitely recommend that. My number one recommendation lately has been to get the profile setup, because my profile setup is very good deal, honestly. A lot of ladies who come to me and we do consultations, they tell me about a lot of people who teach in the same industry, and their prices are crazy for just their course alone. No offense to those ladies. However, what you get with the value of just the profile setup for way below that, I feel is the best benefit, and I love it because first off, you get the course emailed to you instantly, and then you get to schedule a consultation with me. So you get to talk to me, ask me your questions, we go over how you launch your profile setup, and then boom, you also have your profile set up. So everything is essentially done for you, and I feel like that is the best deal because you get so much benefit with it. So definitely check that out on the website and sign up for our email list, because we're always doing coupon codes, giveaways. Oh, and another thing that also comes with both the course and the profile sets up right now, I don't know how long I'm going to leave it like this, but the Facebook group is really awesome. We're always in there sharing results, asking questions. I go live in there sometimes. There's lots of resources. There's videos, games, documentaries, books, all of that stuff. And that currently comes with the profile setup. And when you purchase the course, you'll be emailed a link for you to join. I'll make sure to approve your request, and then you can get into the group. But nonetheless, today what I'm here to talk about is the different types of phone sex websites. So one of the first differences you're going to notice between websites is the time commitment. So for some of these websites, you are able to log in and work whenever you want to. You don't have a set schedule. You don't have a set time. You don't have anything like that. Now, there are other websites where they will give you a schedule, and they'll want you to stick to the schedule for each of your times that you work. So I've worked for a company and they were very strict on their schedule. That wasn't really something for me in my life that I wanted, because I kind of got into this to have more of that freedom. So if that's you definitely want to make sure that you choose a website that gives you the freedom of time. Now, in addition to that, there are also websites that don't have you to clock in or log in, call in at a certain time. However, you will have to do a certain weekly commitment time. So that'll usually be between 15 to 24 hours a week that they want you to complete. So the next thing that you may run into is websites that want you to work a certain amount of time before your rate increases. So basically you'll have to get through a certain amount of minutes of phone time before you can actually have a higher rate, and sometimes even access the whole entire website. So they're pretty much vetting you to make sure that you're going to be committed, make sure you get some practice in at a lower rate, and things like that. So that's something, that isn't so bad. And most of the time with those websites, I've seen that they don't really have a strict schedule. And so that is why they do that process as well. Now, another difference between sites has to do with rules and the type of calls that you will be taking. So some websites have rules in place. You can't talk about certain things, you can't post certain things, you can't do certain things. while others are very free and they allow you to talk about what is called taboos. So some of those websites, you may run into topics that you may be uncomfortable with. So just keep that in mind and make sure that you read whatever rules they have, ask them about their taboos, and sometimes they will allow you to pick and choose the ones that have taboos, what type of calls you take. But just keep in mind, if you're ever working on a website that has rules, you want to stick to those rules, because you would hate for your account to get shut down because you can't that you broke a rule. So definitely keep that in mind. And if there is a taboo site, see if they do. They don't always, but sometimes they will allow you to filter out some of the more some of the things that you may not be comfortable with. So it all depends on you. For me personally, I don't like to talk about anything that has to do with kids. And the website that I work on, they are rules-based websites, so you cannot talk about anything having to do with that. But some websites, they do allow that, and it's no judgment on you if you feel like you're able to take those type of calls. A lot of people see it as somebody getting to live out their fantasy online, so they don't have to in real life. But for me, I stay away from those type of calls. And if I'm not able to choose what calls I could take, I don't really mess with those websites at all. Now, the other type of differences between the websites is whether or not you use your own pictures, you choose your model, or whether they give you a model. So with the website that I mainly work with, you are able to either use your own pictures or you can use a model's pictures. With a website that I worked for previously, they gave you a model, they gave you a name, they gave you a character. So I prefer to kind of create my own character. I don't use my own pictures, but I do create a character around my model. And so that is something that you want to consider as well, because you want to choose something that, works out for you. Maybe you don't want to create a character, you just want to go with what they give you, or maybe you want to use your own pictures so that you can market outside of the websites. Whatever your preference is, this is something to consider when looking for the right phone sex line for you. Now, the last difference between websites is pay. So each website that you come across is going to have a different type of pay. The one that I work for, the one that I recommend, you are able to set your own rates up to a certain amount. And I believe that certain amount is $100 per minute, or like 99.9 per minute. And you definitely can get away with that, especially when you're in the world of financial domination, that you can get away with a lot of things, because people are looking to throw money and spend money, and you do not know how much money the person on the other side of that phone line has. Now, for some other websites, some of the more websites where they, and I'll get into that next, they kind of have more call frequency and you don't have to promote yourself on the website. You will have a certain rate that is typical, and you are not able to change that rate. That rate will increase with the time that you keep them on the phone. So a lot of those websites, they pay you a lot lower than when you have to promote yourself. So when I say promote yourself, you do not have to promote yourself outside of the website. I've always just stuck with the website. I've never created an Instagram, Twitter, or anything like that for my model, and I got myself to 6 figures. Of course, if you do choose to do that, you open yourself up for more opportunities. However, keep in mind that there are thousands and thousands of customers coming to these websites because the company is already promoting themselves. So you are just kind of going the extra mile if you do choose to go the outside of the website route, but you absolutely do not have to do that to get to 6 figures. So that's pretty much everything as far as the differences between these websites. As you choose companies, you definitely want to factor in those things, whether or not you're going to be able to change your rate, whether or not you're able to have a schedule, what pictures you have to use, the things that you are having to talk about, and all of those different factors. So I hope this video was helpful. Definitely visit the website to stay in tune with our giveaways, coupons, webinars, and new releases. As always, I love you, and make sure that you love yourself. And our motto at Pretty Pink Profit is, I don't say this much, but I need to start saying it, is don't chase the bag, make the bag chase you. Peace.